And here's another video. This is something this is something that's been on my mind, and I had it on my mind earlier, like afternoon and to the evening time, and this was on my mind. And this is a public service now, and I'm addressing preachers and people of the faith. This is my address to the people of the faith, especially people who say they are Christian. Especially people who say they know Jesus. Now, I got all kinds of questions for you. Now, I watch things and I hear all kinds of things how people say about different people that might be charlatans or manipulate the people financially. Yes, I agree that's not right or whatever. Now, there are people who, and I was talking about to a guy at work, and I said, that so-and-so, people call him as such and such, and they don't agree with the financial manipulations and whatever the case may be. But there's some good ministers out there, guys who genuinely have powerful anointed ministries, and God has given them ministerial gifts or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to offering, tithe, seed, all kinds of things, and you can have a powerful ministry. You can have a really powerful ministry. But when you charge money for certain events, when you charge money for your conferences, and when you charge money for different of your ministerial services, it makes you, and people call you, a charlatan. And I can't just say I disagree, because when, you can look that up and, in a dictionary or whatever case may be. But that's what bothers me. They have plenty of power and good, well-meaning preachers who have some good teachings. And it screws up their ministry. Some of them have been extended times. And I'll say to some of the preachers who have said they repented on things, don't keep repenting on you said the wrong things when it comes to tithes, offering, and seed. When it comes to any type of giving to the church, if you're not going to change and you're going to go back to your own things about telling people how you give your money and you sow this seed to give money to, for your blessing, you give money for your prosperity, or you give money, or I say prosperity teaching. And people have taught, and I'm going to have an opinion, and people are I'm going to get heat for this. I know I'm going to get heat for this about the tithes. And people need to go search better on the scriptures about the tithes. Yes, I know. The 10% which they tell us that we need to give, or we're cursed with a curse. So you need to go into okay, this film cut up. I'm actually recording from the newer laptop that I got, and it keeps flicking off within this video. I'm gonna just see if I can find a way where this thing won't flick off. So I'm saying to the people, if you can have a powerful ministry where people get healed, might even have a deliverance ministry where you cast demons out of people, or whatever the case may be. You can help people get free of all kinds of things, and even if they're free from addictions or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to giving offering and giving tithes, you getting to the point where you scare people and you manipulate people, and that could screw up your ministry. There's some good, well-meaning preachers who set up under some of these older ministers who have been manipulating people for years, and under the prosperity teaching. I don't have nothing wrong with prospering and giving large amounts to the fellowship or wherever, a ministry, because that helps contribute to the upholding of fellowships and the building and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. But sometimes people get into where they're scaring people. They're telling people if they don't give so and so and so, they're going to hell, or they're living in sin if you don't give this, and if you don't give a certain amount. And they'll scare people into giving, and they'll scare people about the tithe, and they're like, if you don't give this, and you're going to hell, and all kinds of things like this. Or they'll say, they got people saying like, they'll get in front of a fellowship right around the offering time, or offering time would say, God told me that certain amount of people was going to, give a certain amount. They come up and get all, or they got offering envelopes to give, and God showed me that he wanted to give this amount of money, such and such a money. And I'm like, Lord, I'm like, really? I'm like, please, God, I just want somebody strong that they have respect for, that they can tell these preachers that that's a turnoff. That makes people leave the church. If you can have a powerful ministry, people actually get authentically healed. And I've been in ministries where people have gotten good prophetic words, and those stuff came to pass, and people have gotten the situations where people actually got healed, and that stayed, people got healed, and then a situation where people didn't get healed, and then they'll tell, and then that kind of bothers me, because the people will say that person is false because they advertise themselves as somebody who does a healing ministry, and this person didn't get healed of this. I'm like, really? I'm just saying, all the people at certain ministry didn't always get healed, but you're saying the person is false because, this person has a miracle ministry. I know folks go hitting on to some people that I'm talking, a certain person I talk about. Yeah, I understand. You get that. But there's a whole lot of, and then all the stuff I hear that's coming out, that the powers that be have kept from us, that there's cures for a whole lot of stuff, that there's cures for a whole lot of things that allegedly, I'll say allegedly for the sake of this platform, I say allegedly there's cures for, I'd say, just about everything, or allegedly. I say allegedly. And these preachers, and this bothers me. And you got the younger upcoming preachers who sit under a strong older preacher who come up right behind them, and they'll do powerful ministry and say, come on, give your seed, and yeah, I want you to get, and I got blessed with this seed, or I gave this and God blessed me this way. I'm saying, we don't want to hear. I'm gonna say this to the preachers. Let me get up closer to this camera so I can hear. Preachers, we don't want to hear about your testimonies about how you got blessed when you gave. We don't want to hear about some random person that gave a certain amount, that got blessed financially because they gave a seed and they had faith and they gave a seed. We want to know, if a person gives and doesn't have the faith, will they get blessed? No, they're not going to get blessed. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say the truth. Just because, yeah, I know giving. Yes, I get blessed. I've dealt with getting blessings and people helping me financially, and you might help somebody else financially. But because you gave that certain, or you gave your last seed, that's not guaranteed that's going to come, that money that you gave is going to come back. And it's not guaranteed that your tithe offering is going to come back. And I'm going to tell you things that other people are afraid to say. Church people are afraid to say that Just because you tithe and give offerings doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle. Oh, that you won't be living in a curse or struggling financially. I'm not telling you to stop giving or stop giving. If your faith is there and you give a certain amount, that's you. But just don't pressure people to make them feel like guilty that if you don't give such and such and such, that, you're going to hell or you're living in sin. People need to study their word better. Obviously, I know I'm not in the word quite as of this video. I'm not in the word like a lot of these other people are. But you got people who are not in the faith and who have studied the word and who are looking at believers like these people are easy to be manipulated. They got the preacher that stands up and other believers looking at them too. These people will stand up and tell them that if they give $1,000, if they give such amount of money, or I say $1,000, that's example, because preachers got up in front and say, if you give so and so $1,000 or so and so thousand such and such amount, and that's who you're blessing, and you're going to prosper, or God prosper your business or your job or whatever, the job which takes a certain large chunk of your paycheck from taxes and federal taxes, which federal is not really, allegedly, that's privately. But I'm not going to get into that because I need to share stuff because the powers that be might. I just say allegedly. About as far as things are concerned. As far as things are concerned, I had to repeat it because the camera clicked out on me. But I'm going to say this. This really bothers me. And I'm like, there's some really good preachers out there there's some that aren't too good. They aren't good. That had strong prophetic ministries and had strong, powerful ministries. But when they get up and take up collections, they are financially manipulating people. And then they take so long to take up offering. It shouldn't take you all that long to just be honest with the people. That's what when the YouTubers were talking about it, just be honest with the people and tell them that you need the money for such and such and such. Or I need this money to help take care of this financial obligation for the church. Instead of telling people that if you don't give this and that, and make guilt tripping people for spending on themselves or taking care of themselves, their appearance, or taking care of themselves financially, or feeding their family. Because there are people who have decided, who have gave money in church, who were short on feeding their families or feeding themselves. Oh, I'm going to say some things about myself. And I've had those times where I used a credit card to pay my rent because I didn't want to avoid giving the tithe. And that same credit card company, I'm not going to get into it, sued me. So how do you say about that, other preachers? This is mainly to these preachers. I'm telling you, y'all are some evil preachers out here. Y'all claim to be all goody, but y'all just evil because you charge people are just they don't realize that that's evil. Manipulating people and telling people about giving their first fruits is evil. I'm sorry about it. If God showed you and gave you a revelation on giving, that was you. That's not the regular other population. That was you because you were in a situation where you were living your life and you were constantly in prayer and in that intimacy hearing from God. Everybody don't hear from God like you that gave that money. Preacher that done heard from God. Everybody doesn't hear from God like you. Just understand that. The average person that's in the fellowship, you can hear from God to give so and so or give $1,000, but you don't tell that other person that they need to give $1,000 like you gave $1,000 or gave your rent money or gave that certain amount of money to because God bless you or people sold back into your life and took care of your financial obligations, gave you money to take care of your financial obligations. You were in ministry. You were tied to people. Some of y'all had tied to family members that are constantly in prayer. We don't all have loved ones who are in prayer and intercession and having somebody that's constantly in the face of God and in prayer and pray for me from I was a little. I know I'm sure my dad prays for me, and I know when my mom was living, she prayed for me. And I have some other people that see me online, and I'm sure my pastors pray for me, the leadership and different people from the church pray for me, and I know that they pray for me. And some other people who I've connected in with fellowships, different fellowships, have prayed for me as well. But to have somebody that's constantly in my life that's really hearing from God like that can give me that close and say that if I give such and such amount of money, I know that I'm going to automatically get it back. I don't have that. So all you preachers that's telling people that, I need to get this, and I'm going to get into the thing about the spouse. Oh, y'all are so evil about that. Don't be getting these, and y'all need to address that about the feminization of the men and the masculinity of the woman. Now you got playing feminine women and you got playing masculine men, and not a lot of these people are able to come together because we're on social media and y'all watching and y'all hearing or watching this video that I made it that's longer than what I had planned to make it. I was trying to make shorter videos, but I'm going to leave that there. But some of y'all so evil. I'm like, y'all can be a good person, but evil in your ways when it comes to about getting people to give to ministry or give to your ministry because it's evil. And the way that our tithes and offering and seed giving has been presented to the populace is evil. It's evil in itself. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. It's been manipulated, and there's some good preachers out there that have a nice, kind-hearted preachers out there, and I've come across them, and when it comes to giving, they've been because they. Okay, I just continue. Okay, then with my glasses back on, because they've been taught a certain way. They don't know any way better how to take up collection than to manipulate people into giving a seed offering and to give the offering. because they've been manipulated that way. That's how they were taught to take up collection. They were taught to take up collection and telling people if they give, they'll be blessed financially, and God will take care of them. And you surrender your money to God, and you surrender your money, and you do not surrender it unless you surrender your money. Well, that's not a calling. I'm not called to surrender my money to God. I'm called to present my body. I did not call to surrender my money. And I know I'm going to get critiqued on this, probably get critiqued on this video. Yes, I'm supposed to be able to give a certain amount, give money to the church and give to a fellowship. And I'm not supposed to give out of manipulation. It's God loves a cheerful giver. And a lot of people are giving, they're not giving it really in cheerfully. And the way people are taught to give, it's not a way that they're giving cheerfully. And I just guarantee you got your financial obligation to take care of their financial obligations before you because I used to tell people, I would, tell people like, take out this and take out that money before they take care of their certain financial obligations. Because that, I can't guarantee you that ministry that you gave your money into is going to help see that you have a roof over your head. They'll let you get evicted. I was lending out my car for a certain amount of time. I didn't tell all the people at church and the leadership at my church that I was going to, the current one that I'm at now, and other people, other ministry I was also fellowshipping. I had different ministries that I was fellowshipping with at the time of 2018, and I didn't tell people. And a lot of these ministries, they're not going to help you. They're not going to see that you have a roof over you. They're not going to see that your rent is paid. They just want you to give into the church. And a lot of these people, they have money that they can take care of at least 100 people. If you got a good amount of ministry, you can take care of a few people's rent. Especially if you just take care of your rent for the people that are in leadership position at your church. So they can be freed up to, not be under stress when they pray for people for their blessing or their situation. And I can't tell you, it just bothers me. They should see that ministry should see the people have a place to stay, that a good place to stay, where they don't have to worry about their vehicles getting broken into. My vehicle was broken into. They had two times last year. My ignition had to be replaced. Yes, I know. Stolen, recovered. Then somebody tried to, less than 6 months from when it was recovered being stolen, somebody tried to steal it again from the parking lot. Now, I moved from that location since then, of the time of this video, but to have my car have the ignition pulled out twice in the same year, and then the insurance company refused to pay the insurance, progressive, that liberal insurance, because they are progressive. Anyway, that's not what I was talking about. I'm addressing the preachers. But see, you also got to be able to see the people that y'all can even have a fellowship what takes care of people's car insurance. That shouldn't be a big bill out of that. The church can pay your car insurance. Can have fellowships that pay people's car insurance for like 6 months to a year, and that would help a lot of people out. And taking care of buying cars for people, and people don't want to do that unless they know that that person is going to stay at their fellowship. I'm like, there's a way that people can buy cars for people. I'm like, buy them a little trailer, or a conversion vehicle. Like find them like, you know, there are kinds of things. Because I'm looking into that transitional housing and that, that portable housing thing. Because I, going to different RV shows up in the last month or so. I done gone to more than one RV show this year. And I saw how some of these little units, some churches can have that for some people. And, some of these little units, they can just hook up to a vehicle or get some of these little small units. All these people aren't in full families, and some of these little units, they can fit a small couple, in there, and or a couple in their kids in there or something like that. And they're not all that much, but that's not what I was talking about. And see, that's the thing that bothers me. And this needs to be addressed. See, all y'all preachers charging money for your, and I've gone to these conferences and I paid the conference fee or whatever. Oh, we're telling guys in it because, it costs us the rental of the building. Then don't use the building anyway if you got to charge people $100, $75 to $100 for the conference. If you got to charge money because you got to pay, you want to pay people honorariums. You got to be able to have the money because people will give. And that bothers me. That really bothers me that people charge money for, an event that's like a couple of days. And, especially these events where you're supposed to be sitting and waiting on God, and you have a worship event and you're just sitting and waiting, and then you don't even have that many speakers, and you're charging money. You're charging like, and even $25 is too much. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, y'all. It's my opinion, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that opinion. And you're charging money for the gospel. And some of these preachers, some of these ministries, I was still fellowship, and I have still supported. And I've subscribed to some of their. Unfortunately, I don't agree with everything that they do, but I'm just giving my opinion. And they need to go to God and ask him, should I charge money for this? So after this video, then y'all go to God. Some of y'all supposed to be deep intimacy with Jesus. Y'all go to God and ask God for all the things that you charge money for. The events that you charge money for, you should go to God and say, should I charge? Okay, this thing cut off me. All right, they go to God and ask them, should I charge money for this particular event? Should I charge money for this conference? Should I charge money for this teaching school that I have right there? Should I charge money? And I bet you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that after this, because you just say, I'm a low-level person. I'm not even in my word like I'm supposed to. And then, I'm just a low-level person. She don't hear from God. She just got strong opinions that aren't as popular in the faith. I'm just saying. I'll go to a secular conference or somewhere where somebody that's not Christian. They might have some of the speakers that are Christian there, or some type of patriotic event, which I have gone to within the last few years, and they said some eye-opening things, which I think a lot of church need to have been hearing in those conferences. And they're online, and I share some things on my Rumble channel, and it just bothers me. It just really bothers me. And some of the people that I'm subscribed to are spiritual, but are not Christian. I know, yeah, I know. They're not pushing no, witchcraft or nothing like that. You know, if they say something that I don't always watch all the certain people's videos that I'm subscribed to. Some of them really give good intel that tell people that certain people are not alive and then with us anymore, and that's just a thing. But I'm gonna leave that there. I just ask all the preachers just to pray after you watch this and say, should I charge money for this? Should I charge money for that? And see what God says, because obviously some of you claim to hear from God, and they claim that you're in touch with the Holy Spirit, and whatever the case may be, that God is always speaking to you about how much people should give. You should ask him, should I charge money for this event, or should I charge money for this? So, should I charge money? Because that's a big turnoff to people who aren't in the church, and people are in the church. It's a big turnoff, and they'll call you a charlatan. I'm just saying. I have strong opinions, which might get me canceled or censored. I'm just saying it. It's just, I have an opinion. And this video is longer than I planned it to be. I talked about different things outside of. I left the subject, and just pray about it. I just urge you to pray about it. Is it connected? All right. I'm gonna disconnect from this thing right now. See if I'm okay, Shelly. All right.